At what point did you start ignoring your own voice?
What if the problem isn't that you don't know, but that you already do? Most people spend a surprising amount of time searching for answers. They read books, watch videos, listen to advice, look for guidance. And while learning can be valuable, there comes a point when the search becomes something else, a distraction. Because deep down, many people already know what needs to change. They know the habit that's hurting them, the decision they've been postponing, the conversation they've been avoiding, the opportunity they're afraid to pursue. The problem isn't a lack of information, it's the discomfort that comes from facing what that information requires. And sometimes searching for more answers feels easier than acting on the ones you already have. Ignoring what you already know isn't usually a conscious choice. Most of the time, it's a form of self-protection, because knowledge creates responsibility. Once you clearly recognize a truth, it becomes difficult to pretend it isn't there. You can no longer say you didn't know. You can no longer blame confusion. And that's where discomfort enters the picture. Because knowing something and acting on it are two very different things. Knowing requires awareness. Action requires courage. And courage often demands that you leave behind something familiar. A routine, a relationship, a belief, a version of yourself. So the mind looks for escape routes. It creates excuses, delays decisions, searches for more certainty. Not because the truth is unclear, because the consequences of accepting it feel uncomfortable. Think about how often people say they need more motivation, more confidence, more clarity. But what if those things aren't actually missing? What if the real issue is resistance? Because sometimes the answer is already sitting quietly in the background. You know you're unhappy. You know you're avoiding something important. You know a change is necessary. But acknowledging it fully would force a choice. And choices create consequences. So instead, many people remain stuck in a cycle of partial awareness, aware enough to feel frustrated, but not willing to face the full truth. It's an exhausting place to live, because part of you already knows, and another part keeps pretending it doesn't. The longer a truth is ignored, the louder it tends to become. At first, it's just a feeling, a subtle discomfort, a recurring thought, a quiet sense that something isn't right. But over time, that feeling returns again and again, not because life is punishing you, because reality has a way of asking for attention. The strange thing is that ignored truths rarely disappear. They simply wait, sometimes for months, sometimes for years. And while you're avoiding them, they often show up in other ways, through frustration, burnout, restlessness, or the persistent feeling that you're not fully aligned with your own life. The truth keeps knocking, not because it wants to hurt you, because it wants to be acknowledged. Many people assume that facing the truth will immediately make life harder. And in the short term, that can be true. Honest conversations can be uncomfortable. Change can feel uncertain. Growth can be intimidating. But avoiding the truth has its own cost, a quieter cost, one that's paid slowly over time. The cost of living out of alignment. The cost of knowing what needs attention while continuously looking away. The cost of carrying unresolved tension year after year. Eventually, that tension becomes normal, and that's what makes it dangerous, because when discomfort becomes familiar, people stop questioning it. They adapt to it. They build their lives around it, and before long, they forget what it feels like to live with clarity. The goal isn't to become fearless. The goal is to become honest. Honest about what you already know. Honest about what's working. Honest about what isn't. Because awareness alone doesn't change a life, but awareness combined with honesty can. The moment you stop arguing with reality, something shifts. You stop wasting energy defending illusions. You stop pretending you need more evidence. You stop waiting for a perfect moment that may never arrive. Instead, you begin working with the truth rather than against it. And while that doesn't guarantee comfort, it creates something far more valuable: direction. Because clarity often appears the moment you stop running from what you've already known all along. If you've made it this far, consider this question carefully. What truth keeps showing up in your life? Not once, not twice, but over and over again. What realization keeps returning no matter how many times you try to push it aside? Because sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't hidden. They're already present, waiting patiently for us to stop avoiding them. The challenge isn't discovering the truth. The challenge is accepting it. And acceptance doesn't mean having everything figured out. It simply means being honest enough to acknowledge what you already know. That honesty can be uncomfortable, but it can also be freeing, because the energy you've spent avoiding reality can finally be used to create change. If this video made you reflect on your own patterns, decisions, and hidden truths, subscribe to One Choice Away and continue exploring the psychology behind procrastination, self-awareness, emotional habits, personal growth, and the quiet choices that shape our lives. And remember, the answers you're searching for may not be somewhere out there. They may be sitting quietly inside you, waiting for you to finally listen.